A hush fell over the departure hall before the first phone cameras even went up, because in moments like these, the world has learned to pay attention. When one member of BTS appears at an international terminal with luggage in tow and a tight production schedule rumored behind the scenes, it rarely signals something ordinary. This time, Jin was the name lighting up timelines after he was reportedly spotted moving swiftly through Incheon International Airport, fueling speculation that a major overseas project is quietly coming together just weeks before the group's next musical chapter. Witnesses described a low-key but purposeful scene as Jin, dressed in understated airport fashion, made his way toward departure gates alongside familiar staff and security. Within minutes, short clips and photos circulated across fan communities, quickly tagged with claims that the destination was Dubai, part of a larger schedule in the United Arab Emirates for what insiders hinted was an important shoot. The phrase alone was enough to set off intense online discussion. For a group known to transform foreign locations into cinematic backdrops for music videos, documentaries, and global campaigns, the Middle East setting immediately raised expectations of something visually ambitious and strategically timed. What made the sighting even more electric was its proximity to the anticipated release of Arirang, an album that has already been framed by industry watchers as one of the most meaningful moments in the group's modern era. With the members reuniting after an extended period focused on individual activities, every movement is now read as part of a carefully choreographed comeback arc. Fans began drawing connections almost instantly: a desert skyline for a high-budget music video, a global brand collaboration tied to the album's concept, or even a cinematic prologue film designed to launch the new era with dramatic flair. Jin's presence alone carries particular weight. Known for balancing warmth and wit with striking on-camera charisma, he has often anchored BTS's visual storytelling, from emotionally charged close-ups in music films to polished international campaigns. His appearance at Incheon, unannounced and seemingly on a tight timeline, suggested that whatever awaits in the UAE is not a routine promotional stop, but part of a project where every frame will eventually be dissected by millions. Online, the reaction was immediate and explosive. ARMY across Asia, Europe, and the Americas refreshed feeds through the night, trading theories about locations in Dubai that could double as futuristic cityscapes or stark, symbolic landscapes. Some pointed to past BTS shoots in unexpected global settings as proof that the group thrives on surprise, while others focused on the symbolism of traveling so far from home just before a major release, interpreting it as a statement about the scale and ambition of the upcoming era. For now, official confirmation remains scarce, adding to the intrigue. No production titles have been revealed, and neither labels nor management have detailed the purpose of the trip. Yet in the BTS universe, silence is often part of the strategy, allowing speculation to build until a teaser drops without warning and rewrites the narrative overnight. Whether the UAE schedule turns out to be for a blockbuster music video, a concept film tied directly to Arirang, or a global campaign designed to announce their return in spectacular fashion, one thing feels certain: Jin's brief appearance at Incheon has already done its job. It reminded fans and the wider industry alike that when BTS moves, especially on the eve of a new album, the ripple travels fast and the world watches closely, waiting for the next reveal. Behind the scenes, industry observers have begun tracing quiet logistical signals that hint at something far larger than a routine overseas schedule. Charter bookings, advance scouting teams, and stylists rumored to be flying ahead of the group have all fed into the sense that the project unfolding abroad has been in preparation for months. When artists of this scale move, the machinery around them is vast and carefully hidden until the final reveal. Sources close to the production environment in Seoul have suggested that creative directors tied to BTS's most visually ambitious eras are once again involved, raising expectations that whatever is being filmed will form a central piece of the group's next narrative rather than a simple side promotion. Attention has also narrowed specifically on Jin, born Kim Seok-jin, whose recent solo activities have sharpened public focus on his evolving screen presence. Over the past year, he has leaned into projects that highlight a more mature, cinematic aura, prompting speculation that his role in the new era may be particularly symbolic. Fans have noted that in previous comeback cycles, the first member spotted overseas often ended up front and center in early teaser imagery or storyline-setting visuals, a pattern that only deepens curiosity about how Jin might frame the opening chapter of what comes next. The timing, too, feels calculated. With anticipation already cresting across fan communities, a high-profile international shoot functions as both a creative investment and a psychological spark, something that keeps global attention locked in place while official announcements remain tightly sealed. In modern K-pop strategy, mystery is currency, and few acts wield it as effectively as BTS. A single airport appearance can dominate headlines for days, keeping conversations swirling long before the first official poster or countdown clock is released. Executives within HYBE have historically favored cinematic rollouts that blur the line between music promotion and global event, and observers expect the same philosophy to apply here. Whether the footage shot abroad becomes the centerpiece of a music video, a sprawling concept trailer, or a documentary-style prelude, the location itself signals ambition. Wide landscapes, futuristic skylines, and architectural spectacle all lend themselves to the kind of visual myth-making the group has mastered over the past decade. As hours turn into days without confirmation, the absence of details has only magnified the buzz. Fan accounts continue to scan flight manifests, local filming permits, and background sightings for clues, constructing elaborate theories that connect symbolism, geography, and the album's rumored themes. Each blurry clip or anonymous post is treated like a puzzle piece, mapped and debated in real time across continents. What began as a fleeting moment in an airport terminal has now evolved into a full-scale pre-comeback narrative, one driven by silence, shadows, and speculation. Until official teasers finally drop, Jin's journey and the group's overseas schedule will remain suspended in that tantalizing space between rumor and revelation, where BTS has often proven most powerful. And for fans counting down to the next era, that uncertainty is not frustration, it is the opening note of a story they know will soon unfold on the world's biggest stage. Another layer of intrigue has emerged from the way the trip itself has been handled. Unlike heavily publicized overseas schedules in the past, complete with press notices and official send-offs, this departure unfolded almost entirely through chance sightings and fan uploads. That low-profile approach has convinced many observers that the production underway is meant to stay secret for as long as possible, preserved from leaks until a perfectly timed reveal detonates across social platforms. In the tightly controlled ecosystem of global pop promotion, such restraint usually signals material meant to redefine an era rather than merely decorate it. Creative insiders in Seoul have also begun whispering about a shift in tone for the group's next phase. Darker palettes, grander spatial storytelling, and a stronger emphasis on cinematic world-building. If true, filming in the Middle East would make artistic sense. Vast horizons, ultra-modern skylines, and dramatic natural light offer a visual language that feels expansive and symbolic, an ideal match for a comeback positioned as both a reunion and a reinvention. For long-time followers, the parallels to earlier turning points in the group's history are impossible to ignore, moments when international shoots preceded concept-heavy releases that reshaped their sound and image. Jin's quiet departure has therefore become more than a curiosity. It has turned into a kind of narrative spark. Fans are revisiting old interviews, lyrics, and visual motifs, searching for clues about what themes might surface next: identity, legacy, renewal, or the tension between global stardom and personal grounding. Each possibility seems to fit the current atmosphere of secrecy and scale. Theories stretch from a multi-chapter visual storyline to a cinematic opener that introduces the album's world before any single track is officially heard. Meanwhile, the absence of denial has spoken just as loudly as any confirmation. In the past, rapid clarifications have arrived whenever speculation drifted too far from reality. This time, the silence has lingered, allowing curiosity to swell unchecked. Entertainment analysts point out that such quiet can be strategic, letting public imagination build a narrative so vast that the eventual announcement feels even bigger by comparison. What remains striking is how a fleeting airport glimpse has evolved into a global guessing game. Within days, it has spawned trend cycles, fan-made posters, mock trailers, and elaborate location breakdowns, evidence of how intensely every movement by the group is now scrutinized. Jin's role in that moment, intentional or not, has effectively opened the curtain just enough to reveal shadows moving behind it. Until the first official teaser drops, the story will continue to grow in that charged space between rumor and confirmation. But if history is any guide, the quiet before a BTS release is rarely empty. It is usually the calm before a meticulously planned storm of visuals, music, and narrative ambition, one that begins, as this one seemingly has, with a single figure crossing an airport terminal and sending the world into speculation mode.